Hello, everyone. My name is Amanda Waldhart, and you are here with Amanda'sInspirationStation.com. Welcome to my weekly Wednesday. Today is February. What is today? Let me look. 9th. Today's February 9th. Sorry, I have a calendar up there. 9th. That's crazy. February 9th. Valentine's Day is right around the corner, but we are not going to do some Valentine's Day treats today. Normally, I'm all about Valentine's treats. Um, but today I do have a treat and I do have a card, but I am super excited to share these projects with you because, well, I just am. But so thank you for joining me on my weekly Wednesday. If you are not a subscriber to my YouTube channel, I would love for you to subscribe. Just hit that like button. Um, I have been coming on here now. In April will be 2 years. Every Wednesday I come on. I have only missed one Wednesday, and that was last November when I had surgery. With good reason, I missed it. But I would love for you to hit my subscribe button and let's get started with these projects. I'm super excited about it. So today I'm going to quickly show you, we are going to be using this Mischievous mice stamp set. I don't know if you've seen it or not. It is a host stamp set and it is in the January through June mini catalog. I will be honest, like I flipped through it and that was like the last thing that I paid attention to when I first looked through the catalog, but I'm from Wisconsin. I'm all about cheese. Like cheese has to go on everything. So I'm super excited to share these projects with you. So I'm going to turn you down here. All right. So I have two projects. We are going to be making this cute, adorable box. And it's supposed to have like a cheese-like pattern. And then on the inside, there's not a block of cheese because that would be weird. But there is cheese Danish. So this is a cherry cheese Danish. It is made by Hostess. And I found it at my local grocery store, which was Woodman's. I'm sure any place that has like Hostess products would carry it. So this is just a little cheese Danish. So we're going to make this cute little box. And then we have a birthday card to go with it. So this card really could be for anything, but on the inside I put "It's your birthday" because I thought, well, this would be a nice gift to give like a coworker, a friend, a neighbor, a family member. It's just cute. So let's go ahead and get started. We are going to use a few different products, not projects, sorry, products. Um, so to start with, we are going to use this Hostess stamp set. Okay. Now we are embossing these pieces right here. And I decided I wanted something to kind of look like it had holes and like unmarked marks like cheese does, right? So in the January through June mini, there is this embossing folder called Stripes and Splatters. I used the splatters. I thought, you know what? This to me kind of looks like cheese. So that's what I went with. So I got that. Now what else do we need? We have Memento ink pad because we're going to be using our blends, and you want to use Memento because it's an alcohol-based marker. We're using Dark Daffodil Delight, and then we're going to use the Smoky Slate in the light and the dark. We're going to use some black matte dots, some black and white gingham ribbon, and we are going to need our detailed trio punch. If you don't have a detailed trio punch, that's okay. We're just rounding the corners here. So if you have anything that's a corner rounder, great. Obviously, you will need a cut and emboss machine if you want to recreate this. Now, in the link below, there is a link to my free project sheet. So you can go click on it, print the project sheet. It has colored copied pictures of the projects we do today, the supply list, and the measurements. And then the video is your tutorial. All right, we're going to need our Simply Score tool. And then I have some die pieces here. So the heart here is from Give It a Whirl. And we also are using layering circles. This is from our Tasteful Labels dies. So I have some of those already out. And yeah, that's about it. Oh, and the scalloped rectangle is from our Scallop Contours. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's start you know what? Let's start with the card first. We always start with the 3D boxes or the treats first. So let's start with the card first. All right. So here's my supplies for the card. You're going to start with an 8.5 by 5.5 piece of cardstock. You'll score it at 4.25. Or you can just fold it in half like I do. And then use your bone folder to varnish in that crease. Now we're going to need a inside piece for our stamping. So I'm going to actually open that up. We're going to need an inside piece. I used basic white and it's 4 by 5.25. I also used in the same measurements 4 by 5.25 the designer series paper. This is our paper stacks that come in our neutrals, brights, subtles, regals, and this is regal. So this is crushed curry. Now, going back to this for a moment, this is also crushed curry, but the cheese I'm using is dark daffodil because we don't have crushed curry and blends. So I use the dark daffodil. All right. So whatever side you want to use, that's totally up to you. I used this side last time. So I don't know, maybe I'll use this side this time. Then we have a piece, another black cardstock. And this piece here measures at 3.5 by 4 3/4. And then we have our second to largest die in the scallop contour dies. Now I have 2 hearts here that I cut out from the Give It a Whirl dies. And then this is polished pink from that same designer series stack paper. So we have the ink colors. I'm going to stamp, and let's go ahead and let's do some stamping. I'm going to stamp so the balloon on there. Now the balloon and the mouse is attached, but that's okay. You don't have, we're going to cut it out. We're going to fussy cut it out. So I'm going to get out my memento, and I'm just going to kind of flip it over here because I'm just going to do the balloon. Just like that. Now I'm going to let it dry for just a second because I see I had it a little, I inked this ink pad last night, so I must have gotten it a little juicy. So we'll let that sit. All right. So in the meantime, let's go ahead and stamp our entire guy with our little mouse. He's so cute. All right. So speaking of cheese, I have something I'm totally going to share with everybody, and this is going to be weird, but so last night, my husband and I had chili for dinner. I made chili in the crock pot yesterday. It was just one of those days for me where, you know what, I didn't feel like cooking dinner at nighttime. I didn't really feel like doing anything. So I literally just made up some chili in the morning, threw it in the crock pot, and there was our dinner. And we put cheese in our chili. How many of you put cheese in your chili? Like I know some people put like even sour cream and all that stuff. And we put cheese in our chili, shredded cheese. And as I was eating it, I realized how the cheese was just so stringy and it just kept like smacking me in my face. That's the truth right there. And so I say to my husband, I'm like, why do I even bother to put cheese in my chili? It's not like I taste it. I don't taste the cheese. I just put it in there because I don't know why. I feel like, I don't know. It's all it does is hit me in the face. I don't taste it. I taste all the other, ingredients of the chili. So why am I doing it? And I'm doing Weight Watchers. So to me, it's just extra points. It's like, okay, why am I adding these extra points to my chili that I don't even taste? And it's just, smacking me in my face. I know this is the weirdest conversation probably, but I just popped that up with a dimensional, and I'm going to place this flat into the card. And he said, you know why we do it? And I said, well, why? And he said, well, because we're from Wisconsin. You have to put cheese on everything. And I was like, do we though? I was like, I don't know about that, but I think that in his mind, I mean, I'm curious to know, like, how many people put cheese in their chili? And if you do, seriously, do you even taste it? Like, I really want to know. I feel like this is a debate. All right, let's move on to the cards because that was kind of a weird conversation, but we're all good. All right, so I just placed the designer series paper flat to the card. Now, before we get started, I am going to place this flat to this. But then I'm going to use dimensionals to pop this up. But before I do that, I want to color, and I don't want to attach it, because if I'm coloring and I need a new piece, I don't want to have to do that. So we're going to take this little balloon here that we had already stamped on the polished pink. I was going to call it something else, what I don't know, and I'm just going to fussy cut around the edge, giving it a little bit of an edge here. And you know what? I'm still on the chili right now. Okay, so I'd be curious to know, leave comments. I'd be curious to know what all people put in their chili. Like, not the necessarily the ingredients. Like, we all know, there's meat and, vegetables, but like, what do you add? Do you add crackers? Do you add sour cream? I'm just generally curious. All right. So feel free to add that. All right, so I'm going to now use my Stampin' Seal, because I'm going to place this flat over that. And now we have that cute little pink balloon. And I'm going to use another dimensional here. And I'm going to put that like that. And now we're going to color our little mouse, because he's so cute. I'm going to color all of him in the light smoky slate. But then I'm going to go over, except for his eyes, then I'll go over in the dark to do like the shading and stuff. All right, so we're gonna, I usually, when I'm doing, animals like this, or even flowers, I do it in the light all over. And then I take the dark, and wherever the lines are, when I say lines, I mean like, there we go. Like right here, he has these little lines on his belly. I'm going to bring this up a little bit. So see how he has these little lines on his belly, little lines here, some in his ears. That's where then I take the dark and I just kind of go over it. I'm just kind of giving him some accents here. Maybe on his little mouth. There we go. He's cute. All right. So we're going to place him flat to our black cardstock. And then we're going to get out these dimensionals. I had one package, and this is hopefully, I think this is my last sheet, because there's 3 sheets in a pack, where every time I peeled it off, it was like ripping the paper. It was like too strong. I don't know if you guys ever had that. Okay, see, yeah, like this one's ripping. All right, so we want to do one in the center, because we don't want a saggy center. And then we're going to center this in the card here. And then we're going to add some embellishments. I'm going to do a big one, a little one next to it, and then I'm going to do another little one just kind of over there. And there you have it. Cute little card. It's your birthday. Love that. All right. Well, that was pretty simple. Maybe it's best sometimes to start out with things that are a little bit more simpler and work our way into the bigger things. So our next thing is going to be this adorable box. So let's start with putting our box together. You are going to need a piece of cardstock that measures 9 by 10. So you will need a 12 by 12. No, you don't need it. Yes, you do. Sorry. I'm getting myself all confused. You do need a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock, because our normal cardstock is 8.5 by 11, and it needs to be 9 by 10. So I still have Stampin' Up 12 by 12 black cardstock. If you're like me and you wish Stampin' Up would bring this back, please email them and tell them. The more people that email them and tell them, the more they will probably do it. I seriously miss 12 by 12 cardstock in the black. But then again, I also miss their 12 by 12 scrapbooks. I miss those too. So, all right. So we are going to, this is already cut 9 by 10, and we're going to score it on the 9-inch side. So this is the 9-inch side, the short side. And I got my measurements over here, so give me a minute to bring them over so I can see them. We're going to score it twice on this side. We're going to score it at 1 3/4, 1 3/4, and then 7 1/4. Okay, now we're going to turn it so that we are on the 10-inch side, the long side. And we're going to score it again at 1 3/4. We're going to score it at 4 1/2. We're going to score it at 6 1/4. Oh, I just jumped the track. All right, there's that. I'm going to show you how to fix that. So 6 1/4, and then we're going to score it at 9. All right, I'm going to show you how to fix this. If you don't already know. So where's my little track jumping right here? If you flip it over, use your score tool to kind of press it back. And then I usually kind of take my finger and I kind of apply a lot of pressure and just give it a good rub. There. It's a little less noticeable. All right. So this is our top flap of our box. So what we are going to do is we are going to snip this completely off. So I'm going to snip on the score line here, and I'm going to snip on this score line because we don't need these two pieces here. Okay, we're going to get rid of those because I'm going to, so that I know that this is my top, I'm going to right away round the corners. Now I can't get this in fully, so I'm going to have to fold this. It doesn't matter which way you fold it, but I'm going to fold this as I get right up to the edge there, and I'm going to round that corner. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to get right up to that corner, and I'm going to round it like that. All right, so now we have that done. Now we know that this is our top of our box. All right, so now we're going to go, these are our sides. So we're going to go, and we're going to cut right on the score line up to the first score line. So we're going to cut, and we're going to cut. All right, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to cut. We're going to cut. And we're going to cut. Now, I want to share something with you. So let's start forming our box, okay? So we're going to, now I'm going to take my bone folder, and I'm just going to kind of go up. Let's varnish in the creases first. We're going to go up. I'm going to go on this score line, go up. Okay, and then the flap. All right. So here is the start of our box, okay? So what I'm doing is on the bottom, I'm bringing this first flap in like this. And then this flap is going to go in like this. Let's see here. Let's fold this down so it's easier to see. Okay. So this flap and this flap, this is our base of our box here. So we're bringing this up like this. So see how that's coming together like that? We're just bringing it up, holding in our flaps like this. Because this piece up on the top here, this piece right here, we're going to bring up to the top to close our box. So then our box is going to look like this. Okay. But these flaps here are too big. So we want to cut them in half. So my easiest way to do this would be to put the top of the box and the tab facing down towards me. And I'm literally just going to cut this in half. Cut it in half. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. We're just cutting it in half. All right, let's get out our multi-adhesive glue. I like multi-adhesive glue for my boxes because it gives me the wiggle room. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold these two flaps down, and then I'm going to put some glue here. Dot, dot, not a lot. All right, so remember, we're going to bring these two together. So I'm bringing those together, and I'm folding this one up. And then I'm just going to hold it for a few minutes, well, a few seconds. Okay. And we're going to do it on the other side. So we need to bring these together. So we need to glue the outside, put some glue on the inside. So we're bringing these two together and then bringing this up. And then we're going to hold it. Now, I do like to check my corners because see how I didn't get any glue there? You can either put a little dot of glue there, or you could do like a glue dot. I like to make sure that my corners are, that there's glue right in the tip of my corners there. I think this glue is getting, come on. There we go. There we go. All right. Give it a little pinch. Okay. So now we need a little cheesecake here. Let's put our little cheesecake in there. And we can go ahead and we can close, make sure our box closes. So one thing we want to do before, let's take our cheesecake out. I forgot to show this. I like to angle these. And the reason why, I'm going to show you. So I'm going to angle that. I'm not going to angle this side so I can show you the difference, okay? So this side's not angled, the left side is. When I go to close this up at the top here, see how this one's automatically wanting to go down, but this one's not. It's getting stuck on the corner. So by angling it, it will prevent that from happening, and it'll make your box close a lot easier. So put your little cheese Danish in there and then close your box. There's your box. I love making boxes. I love, love, love it. All right. I love making treats. I know not everybody does. I have quite a few ladies that have been stamping with me for many, many, many years, and they don't like it at all. And that's okay. It's not everybody's niche. But even if you do want to learn how to make it, these project sheets are really nice to help with that. All right. So now let's finish our box. So we got some pieces here. I have already gone through with these pieces, which are for around the box. I'm going to give you the measurements now, but I have already ran them through the embossing, cut emboss machine using the splatter punch. So you have 5 different pieces. You have the top of the box, and then you have the front and the back side of the box, and then the 2 sides of the box. Okay. So this piece is 2.5 by 5 1/4. This piece, which are both, these two are the same. You need 2 of them, 1.5 by 5 1/4. And then you need 2 of these, which is 1.5 by 2.5. So we're literally just going to now, let's do the sides of our boxes first. We're going to do the top part last. So I'm going to turn my box up on its side. This is the front. And I'm just going to add that around. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to add that. This is the back of my box. I'm going to add that. All right. And then I'm going to, there we go. All right. So where's the front of my box? Here's my front of my box. So now before I put this on there, I want to wrap some of this ribbon around. So I'm going to, because I'm going to tie a bow on the side, normally I would cut a piece like, you could do one of 2 things. You could cut a piece like this, wrap that around and do a separate bow, or you could just go all the way around, which some people find that it's a waste of ribbon, and it probably is, but that's how I do it. That's how I roll. All right, so I'm going to get my scissors out of the way here, and I'm going to pull this just a little bit, And I'm going to do a bow. I never in a million years used to be able to do this, and now I feel like I've practiced so many times doing this on projects that I feel like I'm becoming so much better at it. And so I want to keep going with it. All right, so there's our bow, and I'm going to trim off the edges to, first I'm going to make it straight, but I want to trim the edges here. There we go. All right, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to flip it over because we are going to put some snail adhesive, or you could use your green glue, tear and tape, whatever you want. But I'm going to make sure I really do that well because of the ribbon. Now I want to make sure my ribbon's straight, so I'm going to bring my ribbon and I'm going to do top of my box. All right, so there's the top part of my box. Cute. All right, so we have some die pieces. Let's put our die pieces up first, and then we'll go ahead and we'll do our stamping, and that we'll finish it. So whenever I do 3D projects, I like to give it a little height. So I am going to put this die piece first, and I am using my dimensionals. And I'm not going to be shy with my dimensionals, especially when I'm building height like this. I want to make sure that there is dimensionals in the center because I don't want it to sag in the center. So now I'm putting the white straight circle flat to my scallop circle, which my scallop circle was crushed curry in the plaid. You could do whatever you want, but I liked the plaid side. So I did that. And I'm going to, again, put, let's see here. Going to put some dimensionals all around. I want to build that height. I know I probably put too many, but you know what? I love dimensionals. All right, so now I'm going to put that on the center. So now we need to stamp and color. All right, so I have this. I technically have enough scrap to do both, so I don't even think I need this piece. But we have our little guy here in the cheese. So let's ink that up. And let's stamp him. And then we're going to stamp the say cheese. And we'll just do that over there. Yeah, I didn't need that scrap. I use just scraps for these. So before we cut this out, we want to color. So we're going to color our little mouse again in the smoky slate. And I'm going to color him. And let's not forget his tail. All right. He's so cute. All right. Now I'm going to use the dark daffodil. And I'm going to just color in the whole cheese with that. So I'm going to kind of go around my little mouse here with the smaller side of the blend, because then I'm going to use the paintbrush side to really kind of color it in. All right. I will be honest, I don't know how to edit the video where I can like make myself go faster when I'm coloring. So I know watching me color can be tedious, and I'm sorry for that. I do feel like I've come a long way with videos, but I'm still not that advanced. So, all right, so now we're going to color in the cheese. There we go. All right, we're done with that. Now we just need to cut it out. So for the part that says say cheese, I literally took my paper snips, went like this, went like this, went like this, and went like this. I don't want it to be like perfectly straight. That's not how I wanted that to be. So I wanted it to kind of be just imperfect is I guess what I'm trying to think of. But I am going to cut out this little guy because there are no dies for him. Seriously, you guys, he's so cute. I can't remember how much he is as a hostess, so I will look that up before we end here. But he's worth it. This is a cute stamp set. My daughter loves the movie Ratatouille. So I thought, oh, maybe I could do like a little mouse card for her or something. Let's look in the back of this really quickly. You know what? Now that maybe it is at the very, very back. So we got the bundles. Oh, yep, here it is. So Mischievous Mouse or Mice, $12.50. So that's a great stamp set for $12.50. Now, in order to get that, you have to earn hostess rewards. So you would have to have an order or a party of $150 because that would give you $15 rewards. All right. So let's go ahead and use our dimensionals. Oops. Which if you want to shop today, you can go to amandasinspirationstation.com. You can click the shop button right there. It'll come straight to your house. Don't forget, you also get celebrations right now until February 28th. All right, so let's put our little guy on here. Of course, I popped him up again. And of course, I'm going to pop this up. And that's it. I'm going to angle him like that. That's it. Oh, and I need to add some. That's not it. I'm going to add some black. I want to add some matte black dots too. Got to have some little embellishments along to go with our ribbon. All right. So we have our little cheese Danish box and we have our cards. Super cute. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's Weekly Wednesday. Don't forget to print out the printable project sheet if you want to make this box for later. You don't have to put a cheese Danish in it. It's a nice size box. You could fill it with, fun size candy bars. You could put gift cards in there with some chocolates. You could do lots of things with this box. This way you have the measurements to the box. And you can make it at your own leisure. If you are not a subscriber, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button. My next goal is to reach 1,000 YouTube subscribers. I just reached 500 and I was super excited. So thank you so much for those of you who already subscribed to my channel. I appreciate all of you. You have no idea. And if you want to shop and get this hostess stamp set, you can go straight to amandasinspirationstation.com and click on shop now. All right, you guys have a great rest of your week, and I will see you next week for our Weekly Wednesday. Bye.